Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. I'm Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard with me today. It's always a pleasure each week to come into your home or business or whatever and hopefully bring information to you about different organizations, different events, and different happenings around our viewing area. And we do appreciate you joining us again today. How's everything going your way?
It's slowed down tremendously.
Slowed down?
Yeah, it's beautiful outside. The sun is out.
People
The
don't
pools
wanna
are
go in the
starting to
gym.
get open, and the lakes are warming up. The rivers are happening, and everybody's wanting to go floating. So it's slowed down quite a bit. So if you ever are intimidated about the gym being quite crowded, it's
Good time
not.
to go.
Yeah, it's a great time to go. No one's there.
Nobody's
Yeah.
still doing a lot of business, I'm sure, at the Classic Cuts.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, we're always ready for some more. But yes, we stay busy over there.
That's right there next to the
Little Caesars.
Little Caesars Pizza. Yeah, that's great. That's easy to find. Good parking there. And
Yeah. When will your shoulder be healed up so you can do some golfing?
gosh, I hope I've got another therapy today and one more Wednesday, and go back to the surgeon on Thursday, and then he'll tell me how long it'll be before I can start swinging a golf club. Boy, you know, if you enjoy golf or the outdoors, which I do, it's really hard to stand around and watch everybody else and when you can't do anything. So it's been a long road to get it back, but it's feeling better. It's not hurting anymore, and so
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
that's what they say. Thanks for bringing that up. I hope that's good. Stay with us. Be back in a moment, and we're going to talk with a young lady about a big event coming up right here and here.
Planting a garden, decorating a patio. Need a decorative or fruit tree? Well, stop in at Camp's Plants in Harrison. At Camp's, you'll find a huge selection of heirloom tomatoes and pepper plants, beautiful hanging baskets, mixed patio pots, trees in several varieties, perennials, and much more, all at the best prices in the area. Don't forget to ask about their daily specials, too. Buy locally grown and support our local economy. Camp's Plants in Harrison.
Arkansas Orthopedics and Sports Medicine now offers you 2 orthopedic surgeons, both trained in all the latest surgical techniques. Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler specialize in all forms of orthopedic problems and injuries, from torn rotator cuffs to joint replacement, even sprains or broken bones. Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler will see you quickly and with the highest standard of efficiency. The entire staff of Arkansas Orthopedics works to keep you moving. Call today for an appointment. Call Dr. Sedani and Dr. Cutler in Harrison at 741-8289.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, and our first guest in the studio today has not been here before, but it's Allison Mathis.
Hello, thank you both.
Well, thank you for coming
so
in,
much
Allison.
for coming on.
We appreciate
Absolutely.
you taking time out of your business to come down and talk to us about something. Maybe the first thing, let's let her just kind of fill us in.
What it is? Yeah.
Well, maybe the American Cancer Society, because this is what they're giving it to.
Okay.
Just a little bit.
Well, thank you both. As I'm here today to kind of tell you a little bit about the American Cancer Society and the Relay for Life efforts that we have coming up in Boone County specifically.
Sure. Yes.
The American Cancer Society is actually one of the few community-based health resource environments that is focused on not only the patients but also their caregivers, and actually incorporates the survivors back into the celebration and fundraising awareness. The American Cancer Society has long since stood for education and research, but also for community outreach and support for many patients and their families. So it's really awesome to see how it has really come to impact us right here in Boone County. So
That's great.
Boy, it impacts a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Cancer, unfortunately, if I don't, very seldom will you ever be around someone who either directly or indirectly hasn't been affected by cancer.
absolutely, our neighbors,
And
the
friends,
lady at the
family,
grocery store.
whoever, it's somebody.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It really is.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about, let's go into the Relay for Life.
So the actual Relay for Life event is celebrating its 30th year. It began in 1985.
Yay.
So it's kind of a little anniversary for us.
Awesome.
We're actually thrilled. It's going to be June 6th this time, and here in Boone County, it really focuses on impacting just right here at home, actually, in what areas can it benefit right here in our patient base, our family base. So Relay is a fundraising event. It's meant to be fun, but it's also meant to raise funds and awareness around cancer and the survivors in our area. So
let's just be really simple. What exactly is it?
So
Relay for Life.
It's kind of a relay event. So, for example, if you think of children running a relay holding a baton, so there are about 15 businesses in our area that have formed teams or partnerships to get together where they come down. Relay runs normally for about 24 hours, but we found it's easier to run for just about 12 right here. So we're going to run from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. and a member of each team is going to be walking a track, raising awareness, raising funds, and spreading the word of their mission right here. So for example, I'm personally a part of a team. Our team will have one individual walking the track the whole evening. There are going to be carnival events. Our theme this year is actually Circus Carnival. So there are going to be different booths, different businesses putting together to sell hot dogs and bottled water.
Lots of fun for the kids.
Absolutely. Yes, we're going to have 3 massive bounce houses set up this year that are just going to be fantastic. Some of them are actually adult friendly. So we're hoping to get a few rivals going down there between some of the teams and the business owners. But 100% of the profits at all Relay events go directly back to the American Cancer Society and the Relay efforts right there in that county. So for example, everything we do is benefiting Boone County Relay for Life. So it's a great way to keep it right here at home.
Wow.
And where are we doing this at the high school?
Well, actually, this year it's going to be at the First Baptist Church. It was a success. We had it there last year as well. We're very thankful for that partnership. There are going to be quite a few booths scattered around their walking area down there. They also have a children's play area. Just quite a bit, just setting up out there. It's going to be right there off the
Sounds
main
like
drive.
it.
Yeah,
when
so
is this
excited.
event?
It's going to be June 6th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. There will be events almost every hour on the hour, everything from silent auctions to, we actually are thrilled to have a pretty large car show coming in this year. So yeah, we're thrilled. Lots of Corvettes, and there's going to be a Boss Hog category, so pretty much the biggest, dirtiest looking, larger vehicle, I suppose. So
Boss Hog category.
it'll be fun. But again, 100% of those proceeds as well go right back to the Boone County Relay for Life.
Okay, so it's from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. You said? Now, I'm assuming, is this on a Saturday?
It is, yes, Saturday,
Okay.
June the 6th.
Okay, so
And,
a little different format than in years gone by.
Traditionally, it has been, for example, from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. We've just found that, I mean, we have such a family-focused community. It's hard for individuals who are participating that have children to stay out all night. Or, for example, we actually have a very large survivor community right here in Boone County that several of them are hoping to attend. So we wanted to make it in a time that was more friendly to larger groups of people to come and not have to worry about staying overnight. So
Now in the past, and correct me if it's changed, because I remember some of the ways that you've done it in the past. Do you still do the Survivor Walk?
We do, yes.
Now, is that something to opening the ceremonies, or would you do it in the evening?
That's closer to the evenings, because right after the Survivor Lap, it's more like a winner's circle event. It's let's celebrate, so we applaud and we let them know we're so proud of you for being here today. But then shortly thereafter, we also have a moment where we light the luminarias, which you're able to donate as well to have a bag that has a loved one or a friend's name on it. They can be someone who has passed, or it can also be someone who's currently battling their cancer diagnosis. So we light those shortly thereafter. So it is going to be closer to the evening times. We're going to have some large posters set up that say, we're going to kind of keep an eye on the sunset as we get closer, but it'll probably be closer to the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock hour.
So about at dusk, whenever dusk is at that particular point in time. Well, that's great. It's always a fun event. It's really makes you feel good when you're celebrating life. You know, you're celebrating the life of those who may have passed, but you're also celebrating the life of those who have beat cancer so far and who are still surviving and making it. So it is a celebration of life, so to speak, and it's a lot of fun. They always have everything going. I always enjoy going down there. Do you still do music or have some music going on?
We do, yeah. Okay. We're going to have Rob McBee from down at KHOC is going to be down there this year. He did fantastic last year as well. We're going to have several different stations set up, and we're going to have carnival music playing as well at each of the various stations and things like that.
Okay.
So, it sounds like a lot of fun.
It's going to be fun. That's what
do you guys have any big sponsors this year?
We do, actually. Right off the top of my head, of course, I'm a little partial.
Well, you don't have to.
Right. I'm a part of Ozark Cancer Clinic's team.
Okay.
They've been instrumental thus far in some of our larger events. We also have Windstream and Arvest, of course, is participating.
FedEx is always a big one.
FedEx.
Yeah.
We actually were issuing a little bit of a challenge. We've not heard from very many of our FedEx friends just yet.
Boy, they've always been kind of one of the, usually had several teams.
I think they've got something cooking.
They may
I think
be
they're
laying
waiting
back in
until
the weeds.
closer. Right. They don't want us to know what they've got cooking up. But also State Farm this year. Ms. Vicki Hudson and her team have joined us.
Okay.
So that's been fantastic. Yeah.
That's good. So if somebody wanted to have a team still, you can still do that.
Absolutely.
Correct? And or wanted to be a sponsor of some type, who should they contact? Would they contact you or
They're
someone?
more than welcome to contact myself.
Okay.
I can be reached at Ozark Cancer Clinic during the day by phone, 870-365-0223,
Okay.
or by email at info@ozarkcancerclinic.com. Or they're more than welcome to reach out. There is a website. It's the Relay for Life, the cancer.org website.
And they can go on there, and I'm sure lots of information.
Absolutely.
There.
But we will need to get that information together quickly so we can be sure to arrange that they have a booth and that they're able to participate. Same thing for any businesses that would like to be a part of the fundraising efforts.
Okay.
Yeah.
They used to do, you do T-shirts by team or something? Is that the way they...
So we have T-shirts this year. We have several different versions as well. So they're for sale at several of our sponsors and also at the event. Teams, if they raise, I believe it's $100 to get a T-shirt.
Okay.
So we're looking at getting that out there.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, very good. We got about 3 minutes left. You had an event recently down at the Durand Center. Why don't you tell a little bit about what that was?
Absolutely. We're so thrilled. So right here in Boone County, we actually have a huge population of survivors. We were able, with the help of one of our sponsors, Ozark Cancer Clinic, and the volunteers from the Harrison Athletic Department, we hosted an event for over 250 survivors right here in Harrison, Arkansas. And it was just a moving event. It was a dinner to celebrate what they've overcome. And it was just a really moving event. We're really hoping to see many of those families and those survivors there at Relay as well. It was just fantastic.
That's fantastic.
That's awesome.
It is a great event. It's a lot of fun, and it's not only the fundraising part of it, which again it all goes back to cancer research and to hopefully help people down the road and those who are survivors today. If you're out there and you want to get involved in the Relay for Life this year, again, don't forget about the dates on this. It's June the 6th, which is a Saturday, is correct? It's a Saturday, and this year they're going from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m., and it's all going to be at the First Baptist Church, which is over across Crooked Creek. Everybody knows, at the end of Pine Street there. And they're going to have the car show. Now, is the car show going to be throughout the day, or is it certain time?
It is going to be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I believe they're going to do the awards that afternoon.
Okay, so they'll do that afterwards. Okay, so sounds like a fun event, and again, very worthwhile. And Allison, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate you coming in and for your contribution to the Relay for Life. And it takes a lot of people, and it's a lot of hard work for people to get involved. It speaks well for them to get out there. Stay with us. We'll be back in a minute. We're going to talk with a lady about North Arkansas Regional Medical Center's foundation and all the things they've got going on right now on Connection.
When you support a locally owned pharmacy, you're contributing to the growth of the community. The dollars you spend stay right here to support our local community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned pharmacies. There's one right here. Health Mart pharmacists have a personal commitment to their communities because, just like you, they support their community. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned and hometown proud. Harrison is a Health Mart town. Sam Alexander Pharmacy on the square downtown. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hi, this is Jim Fitzgerald of Community First Bank, and we have a variety of home loan options that are sure to fit your financial needs. From 100% financing rural development loans to VA loans for veterans to FHA loans with low down payment options, your locally owned hometown bank has the right home loan for you. Community First Bank, where it's all about community. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard, thank you for joining us today on the show. We do appreciate it. For the second half of our show today is no stranger to most people out there in the viewing audience. I've seen her before in many, many different arenas, if you will. Kim Rawson, thank you, Kim, for coming in today. Kim, of course, is in charge of the NARMC Foundation, and boy, they've taken on some big projects in the past, and probably none any bigger than what they're doing right now. We appreciate you coming in, and wanted to talk to you again about kind of what's going on there. I tell you what, let's do before we get into the questions she sent you. A little bit about the foundation, maybe just in a couple minutes. What's the foundation do for those that may not know?
The North Arkansas Medical Foundation, we are actually the fundraising arm of the hospital, and anything, like we'll have certain projects, like right now we're working on the EMS logistics facility. Okay. And then we're going to be doing something with the children's wing, and anything that the hospital needs for patient care equipment or anything like that that we need, then that's where I kind of come into play, where I try to go find funding so that we can afford to have the things that we need for our patients.
Yeah. Some people maybe don't realize out there that the hospital has a general operating budget or fund, if you will, and that's to operate the business on a day in, day out basis. But when it comes to special pieces of medical equipment or additions to the hospital, that's a whole different ballgame, and that's really where your foundation has done so much in years gone by, and currently is doing it to help make the facility even better with additional funding that comes from above and beyond what their normal.
It's like even we're doing the nuclear medicine cameras and things like that. Those are hundreds of thousands of dollars, and of course our auxiliary is helping us with that. And so there's a lot of things that come up that you have to just, you have to kind of move with, and things break down, and you have to buy new things and stay up with what's, current. And so all that takes money, and it's not very cheap.
So everybody's wanting to know what's going on with the EMS garage. What is the latest and the greatest about that?
Well, we're very excited. That was I've been with the hospital for a year. I spent 7 months on that. So I was ready for it to be done. But we're very excited. We got that torn down. I think they had 3 weeks, and I think he did it in like 2.5. So he worked 7 days a week, 12-hour days. It is cleaned up, the 2 stories down. They filled in the pool, so they've done all that. And I guess I don't know if you saw in the paper, we found 3 little bitty kittens under the rubble, and so they found that, and so luckily they were survived, and so we're trying to adopt them out. But basically what we're doing is we had to tear down the facility and before we could have the survey done. And so we're in the process of having the survey done. It should be done by today or tomorrow. Then we'll have the civil engineer. He will work with the surveyor because the area that we're actually going to put the living quarters is in the floodplain. So we're going to have to raise the living quarters up probably about 2 feet approximately. So we need all that to make sure we're obviously not going to flood and things like that. And so we're meeting with get the survey done, the civil engineer, and then the architect will put a footprint on it to say, okay, this facility is going to fit on here, and then that's what we take to the Planning Commission. Now, the Planning Commission meeting, there's one this week. We won't make that deadline, but there's one at toward the end of June. And so we'll either do that, or we'll try to hopefully get a special called one that we can do it so we can move a little quicker. Then once we get that, then the architect will do a conceptual drawing for us, and then we'll go through and look at it and approve it, and then the construction drawings, and then we start. So, I'm hoping by, it'd be nice if we could start by the end of June, maybe hopefully no later than 1st of July, because we don't have any time. So you get some good weather.
Now, is there, speaking of time, and you didn't have that on your questions, but the old ambulance quarters, is that something you have to get out of at a certain time, or is that owned by the hospital where the ambulances are now?
No, actually, Mike McNutt sold that to Clay Maxey, so Clay Maxey owns that. It's the old, it's funny when you've been around, you go, the old Hicks Trucking. So, but it's behind the bread shop, which is next to Clay Maxey now. So he purchased that a year ago, and he's been very gracious to allow us to rent that for a year. So we have till the end of November, and maybe we get to the end of the year. So depending on where we're at in our building, we might get the additional
extended
month.
On that.
But we're hoping to have what we need done by the end of November and the end of December. So we got to get cooking.
Kind of get going. Yeah.
What's going to happen to the pawn shop?
Well, a lot of people have asked me that, and Mr. Rainey, I visited with him. He's the owner of that property, and he's just very nice, very, very nice. I met with him toward the first, after we knew we were going to get the property, because I didn't really want to do that before until we kind of knew.
Sure.
But I did go and visit with him, and I visited with him probably half a dozen times. And so when I visited with him, we have kind of talked about possibility if the hospital, if we can find him another location that is, comparable to what he has. He has 6,000 square feet.
Right.
And so he would like to have 6,000 square feet. He owns that, so he wants to obviously own this and be where it's, very visible for the community. Then he would be willing to trade places with us.
Right.
And then he would get that area, and then we would get his, and then we would probably tear that down as well.
What would be the perfect scenario would be if somebody that has a spot would donate that to the
Boy,
foundation.
that would be great. That was the whole purpose of bringing this up. If somebody's got a spot, I know.
Did I fall into that one or
You
not?
did good. You caught on real quick. But yeah, that's exactly what we're hoping.
Yeah.
Because it's a great. It would be wonderful for us to be able to have that entire property, just for the EMTs and safety and getting out and things like that. And
Sure.
you can tell as you already go around that curve, the visibility is 1,000 times better.
It's so much
Yeah,
nicer there.
so much
Definitely.
cleaner.
Clean
Yeah.
it all up there.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so if there's anybody out there that has a nice piece of commercial property, about 6,000 square feet or more, and you'd like to work with Kim and the foundation on a deal where you could get some really good tax breaks, they would like to have that blue building down and let that gentleman move to another location. So if you're out there, we'll throw that plug in.
Thank
there
you
for
so
that. Yeah,
much.
no
I
problem.
appreciate that.
Fundraising has started for your EMS, obviously.
Yes, our gala, we actually did really good on the gala.
Yes.
We brought in close to $40,000 for
my
that.
gosh.
So we were very excited, and that money is going toward the EMS. We're actually calling it the EMS Logistics Facility. So it has a very, nice name.
Uppity up
Yes,
name there.
yes.
Logistics.
So yes, and so anyway, so that was for that. The golf tournament that we have coming up is actually, some will go to that, but some will also go to patient care equipment. I mean, we have a lot of other things at the hospital that I can't, so we kind of do goes for several things. And then we will start probably after the golf tournament. Then we'll start the fundraising campaign for the EMS Logistics Facility, and after we get through the golf tournament, then if I'm allowed to come back,
Sure,
I'd love
absolutely.
to do that, and we can talk about what our slogan is and all that kind of stuff, and we're working. So it's going to be a really fun slogan that we hope people will kind of get on board with us and join up with us. So.
Yeah, this project that she's working on it's a big project, and I actually haven't asked this. What's the budget, or what do you have an idea of what this thing's going to cost?
Our expected budget for the EMS facility is about $900,000.
Okay, I was going to say probably $1 million.
So my goal is to have the money raised or pledged by the end of December. By the time we move in, that's what I'd like to have. Now, that's what my goal is,
Sure.
And so we're going to work very aggressively to try to make that happen. Because we're going to get a loan for the money to pay for that.
And go ahead and do it,
yes.
and then pay the loan back. Obviously.
Right, and so we're going to try to do it where our larger donors can give over a 5-year period, kind of like we did at the stadium, where you can get over a 10-year period, or we can do it where you can give over a 5-year period.
Okay.
So that's kind of what we're going to do with our bigger donors, and so, but everybody's going to be able to give whatever they give, regardless. They'll be recognized appropriately for their donation. So
That's a great deal. What else?
The golf tournament.
Oh yeah,
we just need
we
to
don't
let
want to
people
forget
know
about
when
Yeah.
and where and
kind of what's going
what
on
we
at
need
this
to
golf. You got a little different theme this year.
I
noticed.
do. I decided, we had such a great turnout at the
Island.
gala, and
Yeah.
the gala was just kind of a fun time, and so we wanted to kind of keep carrying on with that theme. So we decided to do something different with the golf tournament, and it's called an Island Party Golf Classic. And so I called Neil to make, Neil Carell, to make sure that I could, can people wear Hawaiian shirts? There's certain things, the protocol at the country club. And he said, sure. So the hospital we are furnishing Hawaiian shirts for all those that golf. It's free. The Hawaiian shirt's free. And so everybody's going to have a Hawaiian shirt. We're going to be playing Beach Boys and Jenny Buffett as you come in. We're going to have the hole-in-one is a Hawaiian vacation for 2.
woo!
So that'll be fun. We've got, let's see what else we've got. Our sponsor, our golf tournament sponsor is for the event is Nabholz Construction. We have got also, we're going to have great goodie bags. We've got, our lunch sponsor is Community First Bank. Our towel is Bear State Bank, Pippin Wholesale, Clay Maxey Ford, Sam Alexander, Centurion Financial, Radiology Associates of Arkansas, of North Arkansas, U.S. Foods, and we've got a lot of sponsors. And so everybody will get a goodie bag. They'll get a Hawaiian shirt. We have an Hawaiian barbecue that we're going to have for lunch. We're going to have some tents, food tents along the course. It'll have kayaks filled with drinks. We're going to have tiki bars set up. So it's just
like a lot of
really
fun.
Yep. And I just want everybody to have fun, And so you can't play around with the golfers too much. They get real serious when you start golfing. Yeah. So I have to do all the fun stuff before.
Right.
Right. So anyway, so we're very excited. If people want to golf, we still have some spots left. Our goal is to have 60 teams. Last year we had 50, so I'd like to have 60. Last year we raised $20,000. We'd love to raise 30. So our goals kind of go up a little more, and so we still have some spots. If people want to be in our golf tournament, you can pick up a form at the Country Club. It is at Harrison Country Club, Monday, June 1st. They have the 8 o'clock start time, and then we have a 1:30. So there's two. You can pick either one. Also, you could call me at 414-4549, and we'll be happy to email you an entry form. If people want to be, we have whole sponsorships still available. We have corporate sponsorships available. If you're a corporate sponsor for $1,000, you get a free team. So there's just a lot of things that we offer that we want people to kind of come on board and be a part of it. So
I must tell you, I've played in a lot of golf tournaments, and we got about a minute left here, but for $100 to play, to get all the things that you're talking about, it's a great deal. Too bad I can't play.
I know.
Do you have any? Do you have a cripple area that? for those that are handicapped, maybe I could go over and putt.
Yeah.
You got a putting contest.
We do have a putting contest.
There you go.
We've also got, I will mention too, we've got Sugar Shack. They're the people that has the yellow trailer that's across from Pizza Hut. They're going to come out, and they're going to be giving shaved ice to everybody. So it's just, kind of like Snuggles.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
So you still got openings?
Yeah. You still have openings,
well,
yes.
Then we want to remind everybody out there that June 1st, the big NARMC Island Party Golf Classic at the Harrison Country Club. $100 a person. If you don't have a team, it's a 3-person scramble. But if you don't have a team, call the country club and put your name on the list with Neil Corral, and he'll find you a team, because a lot of people just are individuals, so they do. Right. Kim, you always do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you so
Boy,
much.
she's got a lot of stuff going. She about wore me out. I'm tired just talking to her. Thanks for being on.
Thank you so much.
You'll give me a call and just come back, and we want to update
will.
on what's going on when we start the big fundraiser.
Thank you so much.
Kim Rawson doing a great job at North Arkansas Regional Medical Center as the foundation director there. They got a lot of things going on, but it's all for you. It's your hospital right here in our own community. Glad you're on the show with me today. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you guys out there for watching us. We do appreciate it. Join us again every week as we bring you what's going on and connect you with the community.
We should always remember to have a working smoke detector where we sleep. Let's go, let's go. Okay, we're all safe, In an emergency, you need a meeting place outside the whole family can meet, so you know everyone is safe.
Books are an important part of your life, and when you go to Books on the Square, you'll find books that will not only be informative, but books that will take you away. Books on the Square now has 2 locations on the south side of the Harrison Square. Books on the Square carries fiction books, books on CD, lots of westerns, and books full of mystery. Books on the Square, too, next to Deb's Frames and Things, has your nonfiction favorites, religious, historical, and even cookbooks. Take a stroll down the south side of the square and visit